Hey guys, Andy here. So regular viewers will know what to expect in the upcoming tests. It's not just about the specs of the phone, it is going to be about sort of screen brightness, GPS, speaker tests, all things like that. Having said that, let's go through the specs of the two devices we have here. On the left is my Honor 8X with a high silicon Kirin 710 processor, or chipset, sorry. The processor is an octa-core processor. It's got a Mali G51 MP4 GPU and 4GB of RAM. On the right it's facing up against the Pocophone F1 with the Snapdragon 845 chipset. It's also got an octa-core processor. It's got an Adreno 630 GPU and 6GB of RAM. So generally, looking at those specs side by side, it looks like it's going to be rather lopsided in the favour of the Pocophone. But as I say, it's not just going to be kind of hardware-based things that we're testing. In fact, we're going to kick things off right away with the fingerprint sensor test. So both devices have them located centre back, and you'll see there the Pocophone was quite clearly, I mean, it's on before I can get it turned round, if I don't turn it around quick enough. A reasonably clear win there, all three of them going to the Pocophone F1, so the fingerprint sensor, the Pocophone F1. We're moving swiftly on to the Angry Birds 2 opening test. I have checked that both devices have closed everything down in the background, and we're simply opening up Angry Birds 2 and seeing which opens first. As you would probably expect, looking at the spec sheet, the Pocophone F1 is there first. Not a huge, not massive difference, but definitely it is there first. I'm going to again just clear out the memory, and you join me sort of part way into them opening up. And again, the Pocophone F1, just to kind of reassure myself it was the correct result. But given the spec advantage, I was reasonably impressed by the Honor 8X. It was about 4 seconds behind, which isn't a huge amount. We're moving on to the next sort of pure grunt test of the specs of the phone, which is Geekbench 4. It is quite slow to do, so we're going to skip ahead, and you can see the Pocophone F1 is finished. The Honor 8X is just coming in, so the Pocophone around about 8,900, the Honor 8X around 5,500. So again, the Pocophone, quite a clear winner there really. The Pocophone is a bit of a freak for its price bracket, if we're quite honest, in the benchmarking. So now we're on to the GPS test. I'm trying to sort of clear a GPS. I'm trying to close the apps down. And somehow the Pocophone opens it back up again. But anyway, we'll come out and we'll go back into the test. You'll see it doesn't actually help because the Honor 8X locks on almost straight away. The Pocophone F1 just not quite as quick. And when it does, there we go, not quite as accurate. So the GPS test is going to go to the Honor 8X. It's going to get itself on the scoreboard. 3-1 behind still. We're going to move back indoors to test their speakers. Neither of them have amazing speakers, if I'm honest, so we're just going to try testing playing a bit of music to see which one sounds better, I suppose.
Tell me where to go, tell me what to do. I'll be right there for you. Tell me what to say, no matter. Tell me where to go, tell me what to do. I'll be right there for you. Tell me what to say, no matter if it's true, it's true. I'll say it all for you, for you, for you. I'll say it all for you, for you.
Which are the quiet parts that I find in the garbage. Afraid to put tires on and headphones on straight ahead. Kids try and start ish. But if this is all there is for me, light offers, why bother even trying to put.
I don't think there's a huge amount between them. I think the Pocophone F1 has a slight edge perhaps there. So we're going to move on to a podcast clip to see how the spoken voice sounds. And here we go.
Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance.
About various use cases.
Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance. Also
Covered the fact that Google and other social network providers and search network providers and search engine providers are being overwhelmed, quite frankly, with inquiry.
So for me, it's a bit clearer on the spoken voice. The Pocophone F1, to me, is the slightly better speaker. And as I say, neither are great. They've both got reasonable volume. I would give that one to the Pocophone F1. We're moving on to the screen brightness test. So I'm just making sure that adaptive brightness is turned off and that the screen brightness is cranked right the way to the full. Then we use my light meter, and we'll see the ATEX, it can just nudge into 450 now and then. A 454 look at its highest. Straight away see a 460, something 465, 479, 488 even there on the Pocophone F1. And I think you can see, looking at them side by side, the Pocophone F1 is a slightly brighter screen. Again, there's not a huge amount to it. And again, neither of them are fantastic, but the slightly better screen is on the Pocophone F1. I've now cleared the browsing data. We're going into the browser test. And we're going to androidandy.uk. And that one was too close. I think, for me, that was a dead heat. So we're going to move on to the second one, NFL.com. And it initially looks quite close, but then the Pocophone F1 sneaks through to take the second test. So it's going to come down to the third and final test will be theverge.com. And we start them at the same time. And actually, I think the Honor ATEX won that one. So basically one win, one tie and one loss to each phone. I'm going to declare the browser test a draw and leave the scores as it is. So it's 5-1. One thing I'm going to point out, just to sort of, well, it doesn't really even things up. It's been quite a beating the Honor ATEX has taken. But for me, the big sort of positive with the Honor ATEX is its camera for the sort of price you pay. So the Honor ATEX, I've paid £209. The Pocophone F1, I think I paid £270. So there's quite a price difference. I mean, not massive. But for a £209 phone, the camera on the Honor ATEX really is very good. And that's the only reason I mention it, because I've not really ever had a budget phone with a camera quite this good. It's still 5.2. I did wonder about bringing batteries into it, but I've probably not used the Honor enough. And to be fair, the Pocophones was very good, because the Honor ATEX does seem to have a very good battery at this point. I could have maybe given it another point there, just kind of, I suppose, just I feel it's taking a beating when actually it's quite a good device, is what I'm thinking. So, yep, the hardcore benchmarking brute force of the Pocophone F1 wins through, and let's say, well, we'll call it 5.2. But they're both very interesting devices. So hopefully this has been of interest to you and of use to you. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum. If you've got any questions about things, or request me to review things, or anything else, just come and have a chat on the forum.